Hi YouTube, it's me Alexandria. I'm just doing a quick update. I had the baby, yay. What do you call it? I'm sorry, I was looking at her. So anywho, I meant to update on my 38 week. I was just so like dreading it at the fact of that. Long story short was the doctor recommended me have my C-section on the 15th of June instead of June 19th. Due to the consistent contractions, no dilation, and he was a little bit, he was kind of concerned. So I didn't want to do it. I was just like, oh no, blah blah, you know, I definitely can go vaginal, it could happen, you know, what is this dude talking about, you know. So that happened, and then I was depressed about that. Then on Wednesday, diarrhea constantly, headaches, going through the motion, and that was my birthday, June 6th, and on top of that, I end up still going into work and having consistent contractions there. I end up staying at work. I work overnight, so I end up staying, walking around, trying to see if anything will come as far as, you know, the continuance of the contractions. Nothing happened. Went on by the next day, still having contractions, starting to get nervous. They were so frequent, I was wondering, they were so frequent that I did not notice her movements. So I was getting nervous, and then I thought again that I felt a trickle. I'm just like all tongue-tied. Sorry you guys, I'm trying to make sure I get all this out. So that was not the case. Anywho, so my girlfriend's trying to think, what do I do? Oh my god. Then I'm like, I can't go to work like this. I need to definitely call off. So I had to call off due to the fact of they were getting unbearable. And then they were sometimes regular and then sometimes irregular. So I didn't know pretty much what was going to happen. But I was like, she didn't come on my birthday. It's like, I'm joking. So anywho, I ended up going into triage. They ended up checking me, and I was still 1 centimeter, 50% effaced, and they checked to see if my water broke, and it didn't. And then they also checked something else. They checked, and they had me on the monitor. My contractions were going sky high, blah blah blah. My incision previously was starting to hurt because I don't know why, but it was like a tingling, kind of like a burning feeling. I didn't know what was going on with it, but I was really concerned because I didn't also want my uterus to rupture. So they checked me. Oh, your contractions, her heart rate. I noticed her heart rate was like 136, then it would go up. I was just getting freaked out. Then I was there by my girlfriend was there, but she was there for her, and then so it was just like, oh my goodness, what is going on? I'm in here by myself. Is this happening? What is going on? You know, she's supposed to come vaginally. I don't know what's going on. Anywho, the head doctor came in, and she just said, I can either try to get induced or I can get a C-section. I told her I wanted to get induced. So she said to me, she left, and she talked to her charge, not her charge, her resident, I think it was her resident or something it's called. And she did not feel comfortable with me having a vaginal birth due to my incision and due to no change. So they were concerned at the baby's heart, kind of not really the baby's heart rate, but you know how they say like sometimes when babies' heart rates can drop with the contractions. They didn't know at this point, and they didn't want to risk it. So I was like, why can't I just try? She was like, you can wait 2 hours, but honestly, I doubt there would be any change because you've been coming in here not so frequently, but you've been coming here frequently, and you haven't been having any change. So my concern is that something can happen to her. Your uterus can rupture when you leave here, and we're going to have a stat C-section, or something can happen to you too. So I ended up getting the C-section, and I was very nervous. Guys, when I tell you what I went through, you don't understand how this emotional roller coaster has affected my anxiety level and like kind of like trusting people. So I end up getting into the room where they're getting ready to do my spinal tap. Guys, listen here. He did the spinal tap. And it was like, he was like, I'm like bearing down and everything like he said. And he's like, oh, do you feel anything? Do you feel this? And I'm like, yeah. Oh, that's the wrong spot. Then he goes to another location on my back and he does it again. So you know they have to do the numb, they have to numb it, and then they do the spinal tap. So that was 4 times I got a needle. And then also the spinal fluid that goes in. Then he did it again. So that's numb it. He numbed it, and then he put the spinal. So then he's like, do you feel it? I'm like, no. Do you feel it? I'm like, no. Do you feel it? So this man is keep on asking me the same question while he's squirting in this medicine. And I'm like, my leg shoots up to the air, guys. And I'm like, what the heck was that? And he's like, oh, yeah, it's he's like, do you feel anything? I'm like, yeah, I feel, you know, whatever. So I'm laying down, everything, the process starts. And then I'm like, I start just feeling like so out of it. I didn't feel this way with my son in the C-section then. I felt really alert. Just the waiting game. I start feeling real groggy and just like, I start feeling like loopy and just like, where am I? I didn't start feeling pretty much disoriented. So he, what do you call it? Anyway, I was just scared. I started to feel really scared and just, I couldn't breathe. He said it feels like your lungs is collapsed. It was totally a different experience. I started trying to calm myself down. I start relaxing. I still couldn't feel my rhythms of my, you know, breathing, but I start relaxing. All of a sudden, I start throwing up. Then I told him I could honestly tell that my voice was so low that I felt like nobody could hear me. Like I started to feel like I couldn't hear as well. So then I told him, I said, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Here goes this, I think it's the anesthesiologist nurse. No, you're not. It's not. You're not gonna throw up. It's all in your head. I say, yes, I am. So then my boyfriend's inside and he was like, if she says she gotta throw up, she gotta throw up. All of a sudden I start throwing up and he's moving so fast. Give me antibiotics, give me more medicine, Zofran. I mean, he was like, oh my goodness, sorry. So anyway, she came out, I looked over at her and I was like, oh, and I was so happy. And then I kind of looked over for a little bit longer and then I just turned my head to the side and just looked over like I was really out of it, seriously. Anyway, so long story short, she was 7 pounds, 8 ounces. Oh my goodness, what am I saying? That's how much that's how much I was born at. Excuse me. 7 pounds, 12 ounces, 20.5 inches. She was born at 11:49 on June. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. June, oh my gosh, 7th. My days are blurring together. Please don't mind me. Okay, like it's so much has happened. So that ended up, she was born. Yay! I wish they would have waited 10 more minutes. I don't know why, because I was like, you guys might as well. She could have just had her birthday on the 8th, and it was so funny. Anywho, the hospital I was born at, I had the best nurses. Recovery. I'll do a recovery. Not a recovery video, but anywho. The recovery in the hospital was pretty traumatic. I urinated all over the floor. It was just a mess. But other than that, I had the best nurses at the hospital. When I say the best nurses, every one of them kept me laughing. My personality, of course, if you can't tell, all of them had great personality. It was helpful. She had a little bit of, she swallowed, I guess they said she swallowed a little bit of amniotic fluid. So she was like spitting up a little bit in the hospital. Other than that, I had a glorious time there. Everything was perfect. Nothing other than the experience of my C-section was traumatic, but she's worth it. So that's about it. I'm not going to do a belly shot today. One, because I'm in excruciating pain and I did not moisturize. So I'm going to show you her quickly. And then I'm going to do my 1 week postpartum video. So here she goes. Give me a second. That's my precious Gabrielle. She's sleeping. Say hi, Gabby. Alright, you guys. Well, that's it with my video. You guys have a blessed weekend, and I'm getting ready to update my 1 week postpartum.